What's up, YouTube? Dang, I'm sorry. Episode 4 is about to go down. I'm sorry it's taking so long. Can you even see my breath? But I'm getting it done. Check this out. Not a customer, one of you guys on the on YouTube told me about these things, the offset sprocket. I ordered an offset sprocket. So check this out. You slide this on there, and now you have an offset sprocket, which is going to work perfect. See, I was struggling with the idea on how to space this sprocket out, and then I found this guy. One problem. I measured it earlier. This is 15 millimeters. I ordered the wrong size. I need a 7 millimeter. So I reordered it, but don't let that stop me. It also comes with this offset that goes on the, so this is made for like a pit bike, but it's made to space out the rear sprocket. Well, obviously this isn't gonna work. So I'm gonna go with these spacers that I had cut. They're 7 millimeter. Thing of it is, the bolts aren't gonna be long enough, so I need to get some bolts. I need to paint those. I don't know if I'm gonna open this up a little bit more either. I kind of want to see what happens. And I also don't know if I'm gonna paint this, but my 2-second thought is, no, I'm not gonna paint it. I'll just keep it the way it is. I kind of like that rugged look where it's kind of in a good quality for the year, but not perfect. Then you have brand new wheels, kind of like that hot rod look with brand new wheels. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I got it in my head. So I'm gonna do that, and then I got to figure out some way to space these. Figure that out. But that's what this is gonna be all about. Episode 4, dialing this guy in. I don't know if I'll dip into this guy for. So it's New Year's Day, and I need longer bolts for this setup here. I don't know if it's gonna be open. I want to go to Ace Hardware and just match, a little bit longer, actually 7 millimeters longer on this bolt. Unlike here, like Harley Davidson is like the big thing. In Asia, these things are the big thing. They don't have like big motorcycle, unless you're super wealthy, but the average Joe, they don't have big motorcycles. This is what they customize and stretch and tire widen and all that, which I think is way cool. I don't know if you knew this or not, but I've been there and done the Harley thing. About 7 years ago, I was a co-owner in a chopper dealership. So I've been there and done that, which is kind of weird. I kind of go backwards. I also used to only ride motorcycles. I don't ride, doing wheelies on crotch rockets, being an idiot. I used to do that all the time. I'm surprised I'm not dead, actually. Now I just ride scooters. I was in Thailand and seeing how people customize them. Damn, I had to have one. Actually, these wheels came from, I think I said this in a couple other videos, but these wheels came from Malaysia. So did this swing arm. I'm gonna post a lot of where these parts came from on my Patreon account. If you want to check that out, you can click the link below. Alright, well, enough talking. I just wanted to add that in because I get a lot of comments on it. Enough talking, let's get to work. Moment of truth, ladies and gents. Looks like it's open. Oh yeah, it's open on New Year's Day. Sweet. I'm glad I got that taken care of. $5 for 4 bolts. What a bargain. Kidding. Jesus. All right, so I've got my
pieces ready to be painted. For the hub, this is actually the brake drums. They go on the hub of the wheels. They're all taped up and prepped. I was gonna powder coat them, but you know what? This bike's just gonna be in the garage all the time. It's not gonna be a high use bike. And I just wanna get the dang thing done. I got some good spray paint, and I'm gonna clean that up. There's one other thing though I still have to do, and that is, I was gonna replace the sprocket too, but I changed my mind. I'm not going to. These things are so cheap anyway. Probably should have. I'm just gonna clean this off really quick, get it prepped so I can paint it. I'll paint that black too. So here we go. That turned out pretty good. I don't know, maybe I'll keep it the same way. Well, probably not. But I do still have some rust right in there. I'm gonna take this this guy and clean out the rust on the inside there. Do that real quick. That turned out all right. Last step, I'll just put it in this ultrasonic cleaner. Like that, flip it on. Well, that's being cleaned. I'm gonna paint these before it gets too dark. So the paint I'm using is a Krylon satin black. Pretty good stuff. Get it at any auto parts store. I'll let this dry and do another coat. Turned out okay though. I just did a very light coat for the first coat. That looks pretty sweet. I might just keep it. I just might keep it silver. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I just don't want too much black, so I think I'm gonna put this into the sonic cleaner for a little bit longer. Let's try that. I think I'm gonna paint this black. I was on the fence. We'll do that. So I got it all painted up. I gotta say, all this stuff I'm doing, this little stuff, takes so much time, but it's not like fun to watch on film. But here it is. I still have to flip this guy over and spray that tomorrow, but I'll let that dry overnight. It's been a long day of just random stuff around here. That's a wrap for tonight. Well, I realized I just forgot that I didn't paint this guy. So I gotta go back to the shop. I was gonna grab that stuff. I guess I'll paint this. Then I'll be ready to install these wheels, or the pieces into the wheels. I just blew a vintage Spider out of here. If that Spider could tell a story, I bet you that sucker was 30 years old. Crazy stuff. All right, let's get this last piece painted. The other piece is still looking good. I think I'll do another coat. Little, not as good as I'd want it to be. We'll get this good. Meanwhile, let's get these guys prepped. Pull all this stuff off. This tape. Oh yeah. Another one. These things are ready to be installed on the hubs. I think they look pretty decent too. You know, I think after this build I'm going to do like a CB, like a cafe racer. In the comments, tell me what you think. You think if I should do that. Doing this kind of work on this old BMW made me think, man, I should get into the vintage stuff more. I really enjoy it. Yeah, so if you think I should, on the next build, do like a cafe build, let me know. This early sundown drives me nuts. I think this one's ready. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I gotta be quiet because I came upstairs to work in the warmth. The garage is freezing, but I'm working on the kitchen table. Hope she doesn't come down and catch me because I'm gonna get in trouble. Got all my parts here. Got the longer bolts like we went to Ace for. It's slightly longer. So when I put the spacers in, up under here, should put the spacers up under here, like that. This will just be a mock-up all the way around. These are 7mm spacers. And then I'll put my sprocket on, run my bolts through. Just like that. Do that all the way around. Actually, I need to install these with it. Let's do that. All right, so I got the bolts in, just like that. I'm gonna hold these down and flip it over. Remember, they have the spacers. And then I could drop the nuts down in there just like this. I'll probably just do one at a time. Let me see if I can hand tighten. Okay, that one's started. Do the same thing over here. See what I'm doing there? Those are recessed. Beautiful, look at that, huh? And these are my old bolts. They weren't quite long enough, but I just need to tighten it down. Got my spacers in there. Heck yeah. I think it's ready to be put in. Yeah. One more thing I'll do off camera. So when I tighten these suckers down, see these little tabs? They fold over so that the bolts will never come loose. So I just fold those over. I'm gonna do that off camera. All right, well, resume out in the garage. Freezing out here. That's not freezing, it's probably like 30 degrees maybe. Can't quite see my breath, but I gotta finish this thing. It's way too drawn out. It's just too easy to put it off when it's cold. I just kicked this thing and realized my Christmas present is under the stand. I'm definitely having a beer. Sunday night, I don't have anywhere to go. I'm working on motorcycles. We're having a beer. Cheers to Build Series number 4. I gotta get this thing off so that I can install all the pieces that I painted. There we go. Nice and easy. There we go. I just realized that, so it's got this little felt ring on there. This guy has got to be put on there, and I got to get this arm put on there, on the hub there, the brake hub. So if you notice, I don't know if you can see this. I think you can. There is a notch there that doesn't have teeth, and then there's a notch there that doesn't have teeth. So basically, I'm lining that up and sliding that down. See that there? Let's flip this around. There's an arrow there, and then there's a little arrow there. So the idea is when you push the brakes, if those two arrows meet up to each other, if your brakes are all the way pressed and they're meeting up to each other, you need new brake pads. This guy, you got the little dot there and a little dot there. Those dots need to match up. And the other thing is it's got the teeth cut out as well. So it's only going to go on like a certain way. So just like that. Actually, I think we're one tooth off. Back that up. Go back a little bit. Let's see. No. There, yeah, we're good. Right there. And then I'll put the bolt through like that. And the nut. All right, so I've got this hub. That'll just drop right in there like that. Perfect match on the color. I'm not going to keep it on there yet because I need to flip the wheel around. And I've got this guy. And this, see those notches? They just line up in this. This is called a cush drive. You just knock that in there, just like that. And do the other side. Kind of balance it. And then I'll lift it up here. These are kind of just balancing in here. These the hubs. So here it is. Spacer with the hub. The sprocket, look how close that is. Jesus. Look how close that is right there. Son of a gun. If I tighten it down, these bolts right here are gonna hit the swing arm. So I gotta put like, you know, another little spacer in there. And then what we'll do is, I've got these offset spacer, but it's the wrong size. It's a 15mm offset. I ordered an 8mm, but what I'll do is I'll slide that sucker on there, just like that. Hey Lyle, come here. Look at that dog. Look at that dog. She got an invite in here. What are you doing? Huh? You want to help with the street cub build? Okay. You better go get your mom. You better go get your mom. She's cuter than hell. But anyway, yeah, just I'm gonna put that 7mm offset on there, And then we should be like super golden. I'm looking down here though, geez, it looks so close like it might work. Nah. This might work, this 15mm offset. I'm not sure, I'm gonna have to play with it. Because this is a total custom application, so we'll see. So, I just put that washer in there, and that's nice and everything. I thought yesterday that this was all straight. It's actually not. It's off by a few millimeters, maybe 3 millimeters, something like that. What I'm gonna have to do, which sucks, is these bolts, I'm gonna have to grind them down like about 2 millimeters or a millimeter or so. I haven't actually measured, but just enough to flush with this folded tab. If I do that, then I can get rid of the little washer that I put down between there, and then I can achieve our perfect center. And a guy's wearing slippers in the garage working on the scooter. Classic. Alright, so this wheel pulled off one more time, for God's sakes. I just need to grind these suckers down. I'll do that tomorrow on the grinder and get this a little bit closer, and then I'll be golden to put it back on again. Honestly, I should have known. Like, look at this. Look at these, the difference. See that bolt? That's the stock bolt. And the head is real slim. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Just match it up with this, same as this one. Guess what I can do? I've got this hub. I could start putting this back together. This is for the front. So I just slap that down and that goes in its little hole there. And then, remember this thing? It's got the notch, so you can't get it wrong. So the way that I'm gonna do this is I've got this, basically this guy set up. There's a hole here, so that's installed there. And then I'm not gonna worry about putting this on first, but this dot, I'm gonna line that up with this dot on here and see if I can just drop it down into place. There we go, just like that, perfect. And then I can take my little spring and come around just like that. So now when you squeeze it, it comes, and then I can put my screw through with the nut. Just like that, and weird golden on the front. Just tighten that down. So there's our hub, our front hub. Perfect. Front wheel is sweet too. Just the old vintage stuff, so cool, isn't it? We'll put that on next. We gotta get this rear end buttoned up. We'll space these shocks and get that. Get this guy taken care of. And put it back on. Then you gotta get the chain put on, and then I think that'll conclude our rear end, which would be sweet. And then we can move on to the front, where we'll cut the front end and widen it like 2 inches so we can get that front tire in there. Damn, I'm looking forward to this. Then we might do a Grom motor or a pit bike motor, but definitely it's going to be fuel injected. We'll rewire the whole bike with Tefzel wire. This old wire is so thick and just not that great. And we'll free up some room in there. Actually, for the headlight, I had some ideas. I could just cut into this fan here, there, so that it'll, tuck better. But I'm not gonna do that until all this wiring is done. This is like baloney, I can't believe that. Just old school stuff. Tefzel wire is about more than half half a skinny. And it'll just be way better. Looking forward to it. All right, so I got these things trimmed down. I just put them in the grinder, grinded the head off, and to make them, you know, work. So we'll see. Let's see it. Try this out. There it is. Those things are low probe. Pretty much the same height as the tabs, so that's perfect. Now we'll just install this puppy. Let's see if we can get this in there real nice and easy. This time I'm not going to use that spacer that I had in there before. Holy crap, you guys. Check it. This is like feeler gauge, paper thin. Check this out. Jesus. Look how close that is. Like literally, I don't even think I put a piece of paper through there. Maybe. And it's not hitting at all, and it's all the way cranked down. That sucker is close, but now it's centered. This is right centered, perfectly down the middle. And now all I have to worry about is the shocks. I think I have an idea. Yep, I have an idea. I was going through some just hardware that I have. I've got these aluminum spacers. I don't know where they came from or what. Just some hardware I got from something. I kind of did a measurement. I would need to drill this hole out, but if I do that, then that kind of serves as a washer as well on one side. If I do that, then I'm pretty sure that we're going to be clearing the tire perfectly. So I think that's what I'm going to attempt to do, is drill that out so that it slides right over that. Plus it looks nice. It's you know, aluminum, billet aluminum. And I'll button that up, see what happens. I just discovered something that's super ultra mega sweeter than hell. This. Remember that? I had to drill that out. I had to buy this drill bit. Well, guess what? It's exactly the same size as that. Check this out. Sweet. So I'm using this drill bit, which is a, what size is this? 31/64. 31/64 to drill that guy out. Sweet. Well, I think I have that figured out as far as the shocks. Now I got to figure out the chain. I don't know if it's going to hit the tire. This stuff is so sticky though. You know what? This 15 millimeters offset might be the right thing. I have it all set up. God, that chain looks sweet, doesn't it? Well, to make a long story short, I can't get the angle right because the camera's too big, but the chain is not touching the tire. We have like the same amount of room here as we do over there. So I think we got that handled. 7 millimeter offset here on this sprocket, 15 millimeter offset on here, which that means I ordered something I'll never use. So if anybody wants a 7 millimeter offset kit, let me know. What's up YouTube? Today 365 of the Honda Street Cub Build Series episode 4. Just kidding. Man, this has been drawn out, but check this out. We've got 12 millimeter spacers installed on both sides. Look at that. Not hitting on either side. Pretty close. Pretty close there. But not hitting. So I've loosened this nut, so now this will move around. So I've got to get this positioned in a way that basically when you push the brake it doesn't spin around in a circle and bend the rod. So I need a real solid bar to go from here to here. So I did get this guy here. This is my plan. I need to space that out and basically figure out how long I'm gonna have this. So let's do that. Oh yeah, and then this guy is for the brake. It goes up in this hole there, like that. And then it's set up for the brake. So I think I should probably do that first because I really want to use the original brake. But I think it might not be long enough. I'll have to play with that for a minute. I pulled up a picture on my phone of another Cub, and where his brake is in comparison to his the stock setup. So I tightened this nut down. Now it's in place, and this is how it's going to have to be, which means that this isn't long enough. What I'll probably do is I'm either going to see if I can get a longer rod, or I'll just cut this rod, weld in a little section, and then make it longer. I've already kind of bent this out so that it fits the wheel. I got some metal. Check it. This was totally a guess. Perfect size. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a chunk out right here, add 1.5 inches of this in there, and then I'll have a longer rod so we can use that. Let's get to work. Something I kind of need in a major way is a vise. This is pretty pathetic. I got this thing holding it on the table. So let's cut this sucker. Alright, got it cut off. Now I'll just add 1.5 inches to that. I need to clean this up and get it ready to weld. Alright, fire this puppy up. I just have this little piece on some magnets. There's our little piece. Weld that in, and once that's done, I'll weld this other end in. So let's give it a shot. So tack it. Alright, so now that I got this guy's done, it's a little warm, I need to attach this guy, and we'll be back in biz. There's always a little time for a dusty piece of shit guitar. Now, oh hell. I decided I better hit it with a little coat of paint. Just did some flat black. Alright, so this sucker is done. Hooks up there. I just need to put the little clip, the cotter pin through. But there it is. And now all I have left is this guy. I think I'm gonna have it mount up in here. I'm gonna do some spacers. Initially I was gonna do it way over here. That just seems like overkill. Alright, so I had all these like random spacers. So here's my idea. Or a spacer with a bolt going right into this guy, and then I've got another spacer, and what I did, you can see this, it's hard to see, so I'm going to just put a little rod from there to there. Now I've got these little holes I need to drill here. I'll do that real quick. Yes, got it. Let's try it out, see if it fits. Actually, my little spacer thing worked right here. What I ended up doing, I don't know if you can see this right here. There's a spring with a spacer basically. So that way, you know, it can move back and forth like this a little bit without snapping it. Another thing is, I'd like to, when you push the brake, it moves this lever way in. So what I'll probably do is open this bolt, you know, take this bolt, open this up, slide it off, and move the lever just up just a hair. That way, you know, we get full braking power.
Actually, this might have been the way that it was supposed to be the whole time. Because look at this. The two little marks meet up. Dot there and dot there. I was pretty damn close before, but that looks even better. There we go. Perfect. The rod's not hitting the tire. Nothing's hitting. Nothing's hitting at all. I'm pumped about that. Look at that profile. Just look at it. All I have left is to put the chain on and tighten a few things up. Then episode 4 is done. The most drawn out episode on the planet. Thanks for watching anyway. Thanks for watching my 10-day episode 4 video. Much appreciated. Let's get this sucker done. All right, so I've got this this chain the way that I want it to. I actually adjusted it as if it was tight on there. Normally what you're supposed to do is bring this adjuster forward as far as you can. Well, I couldn't do that because the tire hits the swing arm. So to make a long story short, I'm pretty much as far forward as I could have gone for this link. See, the way that's got to work is if I cut that off, that, you know, grind that pin off, then I can put my master link through there. That's what I'm going to do. That's really the only option. This is a custom bike, not an OEM bike. If I didn't have this giant rear tire, then it wouldn't be a problem. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna loosen this, bring it in, and get that chain set up. I'll mark it, and then I'll grind it with this guy, and we'll install the master link. I'll just take a screwdriver in there, see if I can pop this sucker. Shouldn't be too hard. All right, so I just popped this guy through there best I could. Literally, this is just there's not like a one way to do this, but I'm just gonna pull this guy. Let me rotate this wheel so you can see what's going on. And just pull this out, just like that. And then I'll have this extra slack. I won't need it. So I'll tighten it up. Then I've got my master link here. I'm just gonna slide that sucker through there. So if you couldn't get a clear picture of what I was doing, see how I've just lined it up without that missing piece that I cut out. There's our missing piece. Here's our master link. And then it's very simple. You just come in from the back side. It's like that. Slide the top piece on. It's like that. I kind of push it down with some pliers, just slightly. There we go. So check this out. Just like that. And then see this little guy? This is a clip-on. You're only gonna find these on very low, actually you'll find these on a lot of big bikes, but you don't wanna use one of these clip-on links for bigger bikes like 600cc, 500cc bikes. You wanna do the clip-on for like the smaller guys like this, like the 90cc, the 150cc. But anyway, I wanna show you this, if you did it this way, it'd be backwards. This is backwards. Treat it like an arrow. So basically the arrow, the way the wheel moves is forward, and this would be like the arrow going forward, just like that. If you do it the other way, it could come off. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Yeah, one-handed, right there. So see how that went on? Just clips into place. You notice our chain is super loose. So I'm gonna have to tighten that sucker. I'm gonna go evenly on both sides. Half a turn there. I'll do the same thing on this end. Half a turn. And the other thing that I'm looking at, there's little numbers on here. You wanna make sure these numbers match up, which they do. But here is our chain. The thing that I'm a little worried about though, is this chain may rub on the swing arm because our polyurethane bushing is not lined up with it. So we are good. Check this out. Oh yeah. Episode 4 is done! Yeah! I appreciate you watching the rest of episode number 4. If you made it all the way through, congrats. Episode 5's coming. Make sure you slam that subscribe button, share my video, like my video. And episode 5 is going to cover the front end finally. We'll get this front wheel installed on this guy. I'm going to cut it, widen it, get ready. See you in the next video.